How how are you, relatives? In this evening, have some information to share with you about a press release I witnessed with Morton County Police Department. It was a pretty tough one to watch. Let me get it for you guys and let you guys see it as I've seen it, which is very hard to see, is really the reason why we have to debunk all these issues that we're witnessing from Morton County Police Department. As we continue to show the footage, articulate the footage, get experts to look at the footage, elders to look at the footage, veterans to look at the footage. It just goes on and on and on with Morton County Police Department. Debunking any of their comments, and that's the hardest thing that we're witnessing here. Is it's really hard. As a filmmaker, I want to go and I want to film the beauty around camp. I want to film the songs. I want to film the beautiful words I'm hearing from elders. I want to film all the things that are happening inside the camp and the conversations that are going on. And I want to go and I just want to have a steady time to just sit and listen to the songs that are being sung by different tribes, and listen to our women singers there, and listen to our men singers and our youth singing, and our elders share their stories of their life experiences. And my role here with what I'm documenting here is really difficult because I can't do those things. As I'm sitting, 20 miles away from camp, documenting the inaccuracies and the debunking any of the issues that Morton County Police Department keep putting out. Again, they are not the problem. They are part of the problem, and they are the distraction from what's happening with the Dakota Access Pipeline. And I was sitting here thinking, way out here in the middle of nowhere, and about just those things. Since the summertime, when I first experienced the beauty of this camp and how important it is that we protect that, and to participate in the healing circle here. If you see a lot of the videos, I'm nowhere near camp. I'm documenting. I'm outside of the camp within 100 miles, and just debunking all the issues that we're seeing here. And it's hard sometimes to see, people being pulled over for no reason on Highway 6, or hearing their stories of being pushed off the road by the Dakota Access Security, which I myself had documented and was issued a warrant for stalking Dakota Access mercenaries who said they were in fear of their life. But the language they use in fear of their life, we heard that same language being used by one of the guys that did a video on the Morton County Police Department, and they had said that it went towards a helicopter, and no proof. Again, no proof. There's continually no proof. But we see that the no proof gets them the no-fly zone. And we get to present all our proof of human rights violations, of animal rights violations, the Geneva Convention violations, shooting medics in the back, shooting the wounded in the back. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. It's about 25 degrees outside, very cold, enough to freeze your face. It's so cold. Saw the video today with the Morton County Police Department issuing a press release on the camp calling in veterans and playing on their PTSD. It's really hard to. I don't even understand how they just sit around and do they just think of these things that we continue to have to debunk. And if you can see the beauty of what's happening here with the veterans. So 2 veterans came in last night about 1 o'clock. I was at the fire, and me and my one of my brothers were at the fire. They were singing. 2 veterans that just came in the camp, and they had asked over the microphone that they welcome 2 veterans, and that if there was room for them in anywhere in the camp. I jumped up and said, I got a spot, and before I could finish, somebody had already offered them a place to stay until they can get their camp set up today. Their sacrifice, their acknowledgement of defending the Constitution, and what they're seeing here in the United States happening here at Standing Rock on the reservation with the indigenous people is they're here in solidarity. And for the Morton County Police Department to say that they're coming to the camp and the indigenous people are, no, they're saying this is a valid source. Is, again, no proof that we're trying to trigger their post-traumatic stress and hand them weapons. Now, anybody knows in this camp that weapons are not allowed, and they see that right in the front. No weapons are allowed. Even when the officers try to come on to when they came to the front gate, they were told, you cannot come on here with your weapons. You leave them in the car, then you can come in. I just continually see this, and I wish you could see it how I see it, and I try to do the best I can to show you accurate video of the inaccuracies of the Morton County Police Department. Again, I'm getting tired of filming them. They're not my focus. It's what's happening on the other side. But the Morton County Police Department are the new DAPL security that are lined up on the sacred sites, straight across on the mountain. They're lined up from the camp on the sacred site, and they're protecting that. Along the bridge, they're there. Currently up on top of the mountain, there's full military outposted on there. How does that happen again, where a domestic, an international company has domestic ties? International Energy Company has not only domestic ties, but eminent domain over domestic resources, the land here, through farmers' land, through indigenous land. How does that happen? And how does that get missed by America? It may not be missed by America or the government. This is what we're seeing out here today, second decade of the 21st century, that this is still happening to indigenous people, but we're not at the same place. But as I stop and I think about who's holding these guys accountable, look back on a few days ago, I posted a video of a lady from, she had called in and recorded it. She called 911 when November 20th happened on the bridge, and she asked that there needs to be officers there to go protect, that they need to go protect the water protectors, and they needed officers. But he acknowledged officers were there, but there was no, who's going to protect us from the police, as she was asking. Who's going to protect them from the police? Again, you know, we're showing video, we're going to continue to show video that during that night that they were shooting, and we're continuing to show and debunk Morton County Police Department with visual evidence of what they're doing to journalists, what they're doing to people with their hands up praying, when they were just praying with their hands up and being shot in the hand, when they were shooting men in the groin, when they were shooting, and some of the women were shot because they thought they were men, shooting men in the groin. And we continue to watch the footage of the spray of water coming out, and it was so cold that it was turning into ice, like a mist of ice as it was coming out. The percussion grenades, and it's hard to watch this video. Many of you guys, you know, get to see the video online, and where we're going through trying to review this video, we see it's extremely hard with people praying, and the drones catching. A guy got hit in the head right here. They had the spotlight right on him, and they were shooting right at him, and they hit him, and he just stayed there, and he just had his hands up praying, and then he got hit right in the head, and there was nothing he could do. It took him out, knocked him on the ground. when I stood down there at that razor wire in the front of the bridge on that day, and I stood there with my brother. We were looking at the National Guard, and I was sharing with them that this isn't okay. There is a violation of the Geneva Convention here. You do not shoot people in the back. You do not shoot your medics. Even in war, there's a code, a human right code. I just don't understand how they're not being held accountable. Who holds the Morton County Police accountable? Watch. So I encourage you to take all of their press releases, and watch their inaccuracies. I encourage you. You have to visually see it. And many people in Bismarck, the residents, do watch it. They do know these guys, and they do know that their inaccuracies are real, because they've been down here to the camp, and they're like, I've never seen any of that at the camp. I've never seen those things happen at the camp. So how come they're not being held accountable? So we do know they will not let anybody into their press releases as well. You can watch that. You can share that. You can see all their videos. You will not see an indigenous person in there trying to balance out the lies, the inaccuracies, to debunk any of the things that they're saying. But this last one is the lowest low. Is to say that indigenous people here are capitalizing on PTSD of the veterans and giving them weapons is one of the lowest things you can possibly go to. And they went to their lowest low. I'm just having a hard time with that. And I just spoke with one of the veterans also a little bit earlier that shared a little bit of his thoughts, that it wasn't okay that they used them, that Morton County has no right to use their existence here, their participation here in their language, and to assume why they're here without communicating with them. There is no validation from them to Morton County. What they do validate is that they are violating so many laws of what they're doing, that they're here to call them out on it by physically being here. They don't have to say anything, but their presence says it all. And that's what's powerful, is their presence says it all. And their presence is going to be right in the front. Is what they want to do, is they want to stand there and take the fire, take the bullet, the rubber bullet, the mace, the percussion, so we can continue to pray in demonstration of prayer. And for the sacred sites that they said is appalling to see, that Morton County Police Department is on a burial site, is right there. They put the razor wire all the way around it, and you can go back and see that they got the razor wire around it. You can see that they got the same razor wire around the bridge. You can see that they got the same dapple razor wire going around the 4 mile square area back there by the pipeline, and that their workers were there sharing that workload with them. You can see Morton County's Police Department, where he's talking about the flag, and he's assuming that it's patriotic to cross the bridge, cross the water in their airboats, take the flag, and then brag about it and bring it back, in which we see it over there. Weak connection, right? We're in a full bar connection, and I get a weak connection. Documenting FCC violation right there of cell blocking or forced cell blockage. Those are also being documented. But how are we going to hold them accountable if the federal government won't hold them accountable? I do know that we've kind of disconnected from Obama and Michelle. I don't talk about Michelle, but we wonder about our mothers here. This is our Mother Earth, and I'm wondering if Michelle Obama had considered that, or talked to her husband with the plea that's coming out, because she has daughters. And I think we had the discussion down here that if they've turned their backs on the indigenous people where they came to Standing Rock and acknowledged them, maybe it's time to acknowledge a president that had disrupted the political system here, and to accept that kind of this is the president. We may have to go and ask for him to show his accountability if he's going to come into office. You guys know who I'm talking about, and it's not hard. I don't want to say his name on there because he's in full 100% cooperation with the Dakota Access Pipeline. He was an investor in the Dakota Access Pipeline. So he's saying that that he believes that Dakota Access Pipeline is in the right, which is the current president nominee. You guys share your thoughts, share your stories, and also look at that the FAA had just, after yesterday, reenacted the no-fly zone, TFR, and just pay attention to what that means with the no-fly zone. The no-fly zone, look at what that means on our First Amendment, okay? Our First Amendment. So we're going to continue to share and document on the ground the best we possibly can through our scopes, through indigenous eyes, and to articulate through indigenous eyes what we have been going through since the first contact of colonization. Stay in prayer, stay in solidarity, and the best thing we can do is to continue to debunk Morton County Police Department. But if they're not being held accountable for their own actions, I just don't know what to say. If all we can do is completely document them, but to sit around and for them to just make things up like that is just appalling. And I don't know how they can sleep at night just thinking things up. It's kind of like a bad sci-fi movie watching Morton County Police Department over there. Anyways, relatives, stay strong. Thank you for all of your support here to our relatives at all of the camps here in Oshetico and the Sacred Stones and the Rosebud and the Heyoka camp that we got going on out there. So the Heyoka camp is trying to play music 24/7 to all of the people on the hill, the Dakota Access workers, the mercenaries, the National Guard that sit up there, as well as the Morton County Police Department, all the agencies. We are trying to kickstart their original instructions there within their heartbeat to Mother Earth. And they continue to, they're cold out there, they got a lot of snow, they're drifted in, they have to walk in and out, and yet the teepees are still there, the music is still playing, the generator is still on. So it's very powerful that they're doing that. And I says that in a good way. Let's try to re-kick their genetic memory to that heartbeat with Mother Earth. And some of the veterans don't agree. They said they know the place they're at. These places they're spiritually disconnected. That's what they say. They say that these mercenaries up there are spiritually disconnected because they are for hire, and that they know some of them. They know that why they're here and what they're going to do and what they've been doing. And that's why they're here. And they said, but you can't connect with these men. They're spiritually disconnected. They also talk about the racism deep in Bismarck. They're saying that this stems back far back with the tribe. This tribe has a history with its war with this country, and the different tribes are surrounding it, trying to protect their homelands. So they're saying that this grudge is stronger in the far side. We call it the far side over there because there is no healing on that side. There's no accountability for their actions. And speaking with many of the veterans all day long today, thinking about this question is what can we do to help them heal, to help them admit they were wrong in the violations that they're doing, and listening to some of the things that they're saying is they're spiritually disconnected. There's nothing you can do. These men are lost because they were once lost. There's another video we watched with the LRED when the veterans are on the front. The speaker was saying, the guy on the mic was saying, you need to go back to the camp. Although you're trespassing on this bridge, although you're trespassing in the camp, you're not supposed to be camping, we need you to go back to the camp. And this guy was saying over and over and over. So he's he's making his adjustment to his conversation with the veterans, that you're illegally in the camp, but you're also illegally on the bridge, but you need to go back to the camp. Although it is illegal to be at the camp, you need to get off the bridge. He kept saying this over and over and over. And we're listening to all these videos, we're listening to all this audio. But I encourage you guys to educate yourself about the indigenous issues. Hollywood is here, and you know, continually trying to help them with the education it takes at this time to make a wrong right. Because Hollywood has also romanticized the Plains Indians, romanticized indigenous people in media. So the goal here is to educate and empower, and here's a wrong that you can make right. And I'm glad that many of our relatives there, our non-native relatives in Hollywood that are here, that are looking for that guidance to share as well and accurately tell the story. That's the main thing here, accurately tell the story. We also have Native professors that are coming in that you also can contact and talk about the story here with the treaty, the tribe, the history. So you're getting from an indigenous perspective. Remember this, ethnohistorians share our story and cite themselves as the original author. It is the indigenous historians, which are our elders and the community that are within the tribe, to tell and share our story. So if you want to know about this tribe, you call the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and talk directly with the tribe. If you want to talk about any other tribe, such as the Paiute tribe, which I'm from, then you would call that tribe, or the Shoshone tribe, or there's a Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, or the Anishinaabe in Canada, or the Six Nations from New York, the Navajo, the Dene from over in Navajo country, the Apache, the Arikawa, the Chickasaw, the Kickapoo, the Choctaw, the Seminoles, the Pawnees, the Shoshones, the Washos. You directly contact them and get it directly from. You can do this now from the tribe. You can educate yourself directly from the indigenous people. Also, is we all are at a level of different healing. So that comes from the last 500 years. So I apologize ahead of time if someone isn't as patient with you as I am with re-educating you, because we know everything about Americans and non-natives, but you know nothing about us. Do you hear that? You know nothing about us, only what you see in movies and read. But I'm sharing with you from an indigenous perspective, a professor and an educator. Ethnohistorians are not our storytellers. Our indigenous people are our storytellers. Our tribes have the story still. There is another side to history, is the indigenous history, that share the stories of why we have historical trauma, why we're fighting for our traditional homelands, our traditional resources, why we're protecting the water, and why we're looking for clean air, why we understand when an environment is in danger, our Mother Earth is in danger from global change of environmental disasters that are happening worldwide, because our mother is cleaning herself slowly. So these are the things that we can share with you that we see, because we are connected directly to the earth through our medicines, through our ceremonies, through our daily walk. And that's what it means to be indigenous. And the other thing here is that when you're coming here, you're in solidarity with the tribe. Remember that. Don't come with your own agenda in place. You're coming here to be in solidarity with the tribe. If you're coming here with a grudge, turn around and go back. Okay? Don't come. If you're coming here to seek revenge or anything like that, turn around and go back. Because after we leave, after we're gone, the children will have to go through what we do, what our decisions are, what our actions are today. They're going to have to grow up. The families, the community will have to endure that around, in the areas around this homelands of the tribe, Standing Rock tribe. Those are the things we need to think about. Also, for you guys that are mystical and coming here as a human, this is a human issue. Yes, it is a human issue, but you're coming to a tribe and their homelands, and we're coming in solidarity first for them. So yes, it is an issue, a human issue with the water, But don't come with your own agenda and not try to follow the protocols of the tribe, because you're not home. You're in someone else's homeland, someone else's territory. Educate yourself where you're at. Don't take it upon yourself to start creating your own fires and ceremonial fires and get mystical on us, because we're visitors here. I'm a visitor here. You're a visitor here. And if you want to know more about what's happening, go to the tribe and share that with listen to them. And where we are at is a very spiritual place, and listen to the stories that they have, and don't try to change them. Don't try to change me. Don't try to change any of us. Solidarity is very, very something very special, and stay in that, and know that you came as a helper, and that you came to stand in solidarity, and learn what that means, and reconnecting your spirit to Mother Earth. And to say that to you in a good way, take some time to think about that. This isn't Burning Man. This isn't a hippie fest. This isn't all those things. This isn't to come get your Indian name. This isn't down here to learn how to shape shift. These are things that we're down here to educate each other on, that the indigenous people have been here for over 500 years, since time immemorial, and that we're going to do this in the best way we can to help educate. This area that we are on is sacred land, from what we're told from the elders, and we want to share that with you. Let's do it in a good way, and send healing on the other side. That we pray for the Dakota Access Pipeline workers, the spirit to connect with the mercenaries that are on the other side, the Morton County Police Department. We're sending blessings that way, so that their spirit reconnects, and that the truth comes out in their voice, and that their families are watching, their schools are watching, and their community is watching. So you guys know these guys. We are putting it up to you to hold them accountable for the truth. They also have a video out there called something about truth facts. We're going to continue to just keep posting to those videos and helping educate the world with them, and try to be neutral as best we possibly can. And it's really hard to witness this. It's just really hard to witness how it's like sitting around making things up for an excuse to do things, and it's not okay anymore. So share that with all your relatives. Help brainstorm, and the ancestors are around us and helping us in a good way. And all our four directions, ancestors, the red, the yellow, the black, and the white. We're here together, standing in solidarity, all of us together, and we're learning from each other. And thank you for sending your donations, and sending your hard-earned donations. They don't go unnoticed at all. Very, very humbled and blessed. Thank you very much. And we're going to continue to educate and empower the best way we can, and stay warm in this cold weather. Hand warmers are good. Bijat you. Thank you. Let me do this before I go. Okay, I'm going to ask a few. Okay, so hold Morton County accountable, but we got to wonder how. We need you to take the time to contact the FAA representatives, not the FAA itself. Okay, don't block none of. We don't want you to call FAA. In your state, who is your representative, and in DC, who was a representative. Do not call FAA directly. We do have a 107 account open for us to fly here, but it's limited. That sucks. So we need to find out on a little bit of the other side. Okay, find out whose representative is there. Okay, let's go here. I want to answer a couple of your questions here. The Kickapoos. Oh, how do you say hello in Kickapoo? There's going to be a new governor also, so we need to look at that new governor too. What's going on, Ryan? Much love too, Kathy. Much love, much love. There's FCC, but there's also FAA. I think it's important that we look through those and monitor. The other thing I don't think we're missing too is the man camps. So I had some women ask about the man camps on what we're looking about the man camps. The man camps have sex trafficking through them, and those are one of the things a lot of our relatives along the pipeline, their cities, their towns that they come along the pipeline from Canada down into Mexico, is there's man camps and there's a lot of sex trafficking. So if you have anything like that, stories about that, you can Google it and also see that. The weather here, a question about the weather, it is cold. 25 degrees. It is really cold. Wind chill is cold, even colder. But people are loving it. They're out like till midnight. They're singing. It's very, very, very peaceful. Yeah, we'll get more videos on the vets and their opinions as we continue to go along. Who is policing the man camps? We don't know. Those are people that are. There's so much here that's going on. We need your help also. Any hickeys today? No, no hickeys. Although I see a lot of people. When you're this many people, not paying attention to a lot of that. I'm working here. I don't think they can flood us out. The It's not a whole lot of water over there, and yeah, that would be not good if they did that. Yeah, it's going to be colder, but I think we've already experienced the coldest view. We've already experienced how cold it was. It was really cold already. We've experienced that coldness. You can send blankets. If you send anything, remember that Sub-Zero is the best. So Sub-Zero sleeping bags. Blankets are good, but they don't really keep you warm because it's so dang cold here. So Sub-Zero sleeping bags are the best. If you want to send them, you can send them directly to the tribe. You can send them directly to Oshetty and you can go to the website or the Facebook site. You can go strictly to standingrock.org, see the website there, or digital smoke signals as well. You can send it, and it's like Sacred Stones Camp, but make sure you put Oshetty under. That's the main camp there. I getting texts while we're doing this, and I apologize, many of you guys, if I don't come see you to be interviewed. But I'm out here working, and there's work to be done, and we have a lot of guys that like to be interviewed in the camp. It's important that I be out here working and getting this work done and documenting what's happening all around us as well. So I'm sorry. Many of you journalists, though, you want to come, I'll take you with me, and you can come with me, and I take you out there. I try to stay focused on where we need to go, and it's lonely, as you can see, just me. But it's got to get done, and we need to make it done. And it's the only way to articulate what's happening on the outside, what's happening with the FCC, what's happening with the stingrays going on, what's happening with cell blockers with the FCC going on, and what's happening with the violations of the FAA It's a way to document where the movement is happening. It's documenting the helicopters flying around over tribal airspace. Documentation. You can see the military is more heavily on the pipeline area. This is where we're at, documenting and continually to watch footage and see what's going on in that footage. We're seeing violators in the footage. We're seeing agitators. Another one we're seeing is the agitators are non-native agitators coming in, not saying that they're part of any other group, but they look suspicious when we see them on the other side. We just continue to document the movements. And I guess the camp, you guys want to pick up these guys. There's CNN coming in, there's ABC, NBC, CBS. Go take care of them guys so we can work out here, you know. We'll go get an interview, relatives. Go over there and explain your story, share your story. I've got enough interviews on me, okay? Enough interviews on me. It's our camp that's important. Our veterans are important. Our native veterans, our elders down there. Take their voice. Listen to their words, their stories. Listen to they're there in the camp too. It's not just the people in the media as well. We're telling a story. You're seeing it, but there's other people cooking down there. There's people taking care of there's the medics coming in. There's people chopping wood. People pulling people out there getting stuck. There's people helping with tents. There's the setting up of the wireless communication. There's people in solidarity together. They're just helpers going around and taking care of the kitchens. Those are also the people you want to interview, not just what you feel is important, because there's many circles important down here that are down there. Again, you'll see that balance of what's happening in the camp, and a lot of the veterans are sharing their story about how this is where their peace is. They're feeling that peace, and that even though they can see what's happening around the camp, they're still feeling a peace. That's what you want to get. That's what you want to document, is that beauty there. Again, no homelessness, no hunger, free healthcare, education, solidarity, and one of the only places in the world where you have all indigenous people from 4 directions of the continent praying in their own way as we're here in solidarity with the Standing Rock tribe. Thomas, about your t-shirts, I don't know. I think it was good earlier we're getting shirts because, we're not close to a washer. What's going to happen on December 5th? Well, we're going to see that their threats are continually to get stronger. If you're on the bridge, we can hear them make their comments. They're bold about their comments. They feel we're trespassing. We'll see how that goes. We're going to continue to bring the updates as we go day by day here. Oh, many blessings, City. Thank you. You're welcome, Amy. I agree with you, Erica. Jonathan, send them to Osheti Sekoan. Go to the Facebook page, Osheti, Oceti, Sekowin, Osheti Sekoan on Facebook. You can also do Standing Rock Tribe. Again, if you want it to go anyone particular, whether it's independent media, it's going to the youth council. The youth council, I think, needs help. Send them. They also do the distribution, and they're amazing at what they're doing. They're working hard, and they're getting out there and educating the community and the public, and flying out. And they've got a pretty large group, so they always need help. They also have their GoFundMe site too, and you can send it straight to the tribe, and just put Youth Council. indigenous media, send us cold sleeping bags, or winter ones, so we can, when we get people in, we can just give them a sleeping bag and they can come work. We just got a solar panel. We did an interview with one of our sisters that came in from California with all the nonprofits and people that fundraise in the community. Was just very, very thankful that we have our own solar panel again. Let's see, many blessings. Update on Sophia. I'll speak with the medics down there about an update with Sophia. Veterans have been showing up for days now. Not just a couple of days, but the last 4 days they've been showing up. Maria, are the supplies getting to me? I can't say a lot of them are, but it's okay because we're okay. The best way to do it is you just got to put them on digital smoke signals. Do not send them to the media camp at all. They don't get to us when they go up that way. Sacred stones, there's another way. You got to let me know when you send them. They get lost a little bit. So if you want to send them directly to me, you can go 589 Fort Yates, North Dakota, 58538. That's the mailbox. P.O. Box 589 Fort Yates, North Dakota, 58538. And also, if you want to send them directly to Prairie Nights Casino, you can Google that real quick. In only 1 week, you can send them there. They'll get there. So send them there. How, Sherry? Protectors are along the bridge as well. Not on the bridge itself, but they're close. A lot of people come in and they want to witness for themselves that the National Guard and Morton County Police Department are there. They want to see for themselves that this is, again, the new DAPO security is right there securing the bridge, securing the area, and all the way across the mountain, the hill, is Dakota Access working going on. They want to witness that. They hear it, and people say this all the time. We hear this is happening, but we want to see it for our own eyes. Like they don't believe us, and they get here and they can't believe it. And then they also say, okay, so there's a guy up here, Rob Carlson. He said, you're a terrorist. Well, in our own homelands, we're being called that. All I can say, Rob, is to educate yourself the best way you possibly can. And we're all we're doing is showing love here, and with the kind of comments that is, it's hard to communicate with people that don't have an open heart, open mind. But we do the best we can, Rob. If you got a solution, bring a solution forward. But hate cannot be encountered with hate, and I won't encounter your hate. I'll do what I can to empower you, though. The community around us is having a hard time because of the racism after the president was the new elected president. Well, we'll say it wasn't a community elected